lights, you might not be able to see them clearly. I wasn't able to like adjust the camera for it to focus, but I think that'll have to do. Is it recording? Ah! Hey guys! I feel like a cringy like YouTuber being like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I mean, that's ultimately what I'm doing, right? What the fuck am I saying? Okay, alright. Whew. I can't breathe properly, what the fuck? And my dog is just staring at me like, what's going on? Bro, I'm just hyper focusing on the details at this point just because I don't even know how to start. I'm a little nervous. My zipper is down. I'm nervous because I'm excited and a little anxious, but they're all good. They're all good emotions, you know? All right, so let me just introduce myself once again, since if you previously saw this podcast with me and my sister, it was actually rebranded. So the name used to be different. It used to be called Así No Más. And I previously introduced myself, but let me do that again since this is kind of like a fresh start. So my name is Aurora. I never know what to say about myself, I guess. I've always considered myself an introvert and not really wanting to socialize with others, but as I've grown older, I've started to notice that I think I'm the complete opposite, and it's so crazy how like sometimes we perceive ourselves a certain way and it's not how the world actually sees us. Like, you know, every time that I would tell somebody that I was like socially awkward or just an introvert, they're like, that's crazy because you come off very outgoing and like social and you talk to everybody. And I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to the person that I used to be, like talking about middle school, high school. I feel like even college, to be honest, I was always that shy kid in school. I didn't really like go out of my way to make friends or socialize. So I don't know, as I've gotten older, I started to see myself differently. I feel like I always try to include people in conversations, at least most of the time. And I feel like I'm just rambling. But okay, this video is not gonna be perfect. Okay, I'm a little nervous and I feel like I'm just yapping, but I do just want to show you guys who I am, how I express myself, how I think, how I approach certain conversations, and what I can bring to the table for you guys to either be entertained or motivated or just, I don't know, just anything. Dude, this light is flickering. I'm scared. Why the fuck did I say it like that? Oh my god, hold on. It's because I have so many things connected that I feel like something's gonna... Okay, this is not turning out how I want it to, but it's fine. Why the fuck are you flickering, bitch? Oh my god. Alright, it's all good. It's all good. Alright, well, this is not your typical podcast. As you can tell, this is a podcast of a girl that has ADHD and gets distracted and is anxious and is nervous and is just yapping and making no fucking sense. No disclaimer, if you see me breathing heavily throughout the video, that's something I wanted to point out. Since I do get anxious sometimes, it starts affecting me physically. You know, when you have mental anxiety, it turns into physical anxiety. I start like lacking oxygen and I feel like I can't breathe properly, so I have to go like to like feel like I'm actually breathing. Okay, and something else about me, sometimes I make no sense. The way I express myself, the way I speak. I consider myself articulate, but I'm more articulate when it comes to writing because I can actually think about what I'm gonna say and how I'm gonna word it. When I speak, I feel like sometimes it doesn't come out how I want it to. Maybe also because something that I want to work on this year or just going forward with my life, I want to expand my vocabulary. That's something that I've been mentioning to my sister. I'm like, I think that's a great trait to have, you know, because sometimes you're trying to express yourself very specifically and you can't find the word. Why? Because you don't even know what word to use that could describe that exact feeling or that exact idea that you're trying to explain, if that makes sense. So anytime that I hear a word that I don't know, I either ask the person like, oh, what does that mean? And I don't feel embarrassed to do that because I feel like if anything it shows curiosity to want to understand what they're saying, and two, again, to add more words to my vocabulary so I can speak better on my day-to-day, you know? Or even like if I'm on watching a movie or reading an article and I don't understand something, I'll just look it up. I think that really helps. But anyways, there's gonna be so many things that I cut in between this podcast because I'm all over the place, which is understandable, right? Because this is my first podcast by myself, so I'm a little like nervous. I already said that so many times. But I'm excited, and thank you guys for following me on this journey. I'm excited to see where it takes me. And I feel like the purpose of me doing this, that's a good question, right? What's the purpose? Like, what are you trying to accomplish with this? Okay, let me relax, right? Because I feel like if you personally know me, you know that I've always been that friend to be very hyper. So I've always gravitated towards friendships that are very calm. So we usually balance each other out. Like, I'll be the very hyper one and like always cracking jokes or like, you know, trying to catch up and ask questions. And then my friends are usually the very like monotone, more chill, more laid back. And that's a good balance because I'm like usually the yapper and then they're the listener. But I want to change that because I feel like that can be kind of overwhelming for me, or it just kind of burns me out, and my social battery just, I don't know, it just dies on me all the time. So I want to learn to be slower, be more in the present, think before I speak instead of just speaking nonsense, because that's sometimes what I do. Like sometimes I'll just fill the silence with anything, any meaningless conversation, just because I feel like it's awkward, or like I have to talk, or like I'm in my head and I'm like, what do I say? What do we talk about? And I'm like, chill out, bro. Like, it's okay to sometimes just be at ease with silence and not have anything to say, and you can feel comfortable with that, you know? I got a message not too long ago from an old friend, and I sent him a voice message, and he was like, it made me laugh. He was like, I forgot how fast you spoke. And it made me laugh because I'm like, okay, well, he obviously, you know, he knows me. We grew up together. So it's just funny to me how people realize, wait, erase that. It's just funny to me how I speak so fast. I feel like I'm just trying to like rush even a conversation, and it's not intentional. I just feel like my brain is always working, like it doesn't stop. My brain is always thinking, that my mouth is trying to catch up to my brain, if that makes sense to you guys. You know, like I have so many thoughts, so I'm just trying to get them all out. And if I don't get them out in that moment, I'm probably gonna forget. So that's why sometimes, again, like I interrupt, or, you know, when I'm excited in a conversation, I want to just be the one speaking. So that's something that I'm working on. Actually, with that being said, I'm gonna kind of take the burden off my shoulders of me having to speak every freaking second in this podcast. Like, I don't want to be like, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, I'm gonna say things, take a little break, maybe be quiet for a second or two, sip on some water, and then keep talking, you know? And I also just want to be myself. I want to be myself. I know there's sometimes like a societal pressure to be a certain way, to look cool, to look presentable, to look pretty, to look likable. I'm just gonna be me, and if you don't like it, I mean, you don't have to watch me, obviously. I mean, you can watch me to criticize me if you want. You know? I don't know, that's you. But I just don't want to pretend to be someone I'm not, or pretend to like something I don't, or, you know, I'm not going to put up any facade. Like, what you see is what you get with me. And I think that gravitates the right people towards you. And that's in life, not even social media, because this isn't real, right? This is behind a screen, and what's real is how you live your life on a day-to-day, and how you treat people, and how you think, and ultimately your core values, you know? But what was I saying? What was I trying to get at with this? I was trying to go somewhere with this. That I feel like it's so important to be authentic. You might not be everybody's cup of tea, right? Everybody has different interests. Everybody has different hobbies, things that you're into. Well, that's a hobby though. You see what I mean? I also do repeat myself a lot, just with different words. So if you guys catch up on that, again, I'm not trying. I know I don't have to explain myself, which my sister says that I overly explain myself, and I think I do too. I think I do. Well, I know I do. I do overly explain myself. I don't know why that is. Me explaining myself right now. um, yeah, I think it's so used to unlearn certain habits rather than to learn them. Because, you know, when you're trying to learn something new, isn't it like 20 something days to build a habit? So it's not that hard if you just remain consistent. But to unlearn something that you're so used to doing, like, how do I say this? How do I word this? I try to like put it together. Okay, so it's so hard to unlearn. Oh my god. Okay, this is, you guys are getting a real glimpse of me. Sometimes my mind just turns blank. I'm trying to be so deep and I'm like, hold up, what the fuck was I gonna say? But let me actually get my thoughts together. So it's so hard to unlearn, I guess, a way of life. Like, I'm so used to being impatient. I'm so used to being reactive. I'm so used to, you know, those are just examples. So it's so hard for me to be patient now I'm an adult, because all my upbringing, I was always a person that always had to be on the go. Like, I always had to be doing something. I couldn't stay still. Even right now, I'm trying to relax and calm down, but like, I always have to be doing something, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something extravagant, like going on a trip or like, you know, doing something like that, even though I do love traveling. But I always have to, like, let's say I'm at home, maybe because I live alone too, so I'm just like by myself, so maybe I want to be around people and I want to be outdoors, even though like I do love my alone time. But sometimes, you know, you just want to get some sun and be outside and see people. And I don't know, I just like, it doesn't sound cheesy, but like, I always enjoy being outside and like being around people and just like looking around and smiling, and even like that small talk. I don't know, I used to be the opposite, like kind of more like antisocial in the way where like, oh, I hope they don't say hi, or I hope they don't like look over here so I don't have to conversate. And now I'm like staring at people, wanting them to look at me so I can smile and just be like, hi, good morning, or it's a nice day outside. You know, just small talk. I don't know, something about small talk that, I know sometimes people don't like small talk because they're like, it feels forced, but it depends how you go about it. I like small talk in the sense where, like, just to put an example, like if I go hiking, just to kind of set the tone for the day and to kind of, you know, boost other people's moods, I would say like, you know, hi, good morning, have a good day, or happy Friday, or oh, I like your dog, or whatever, you know? And it's not fake, like I genuinely mean it. It's just nice comments or compliments. It feels really nice to make somebody else feel nice, to make somebody else feel good. And not because, again, not because it's forced or not because you think that's what you're supposed to do, but because you genuinely want to say those things to somebody else to lighten their mood. I feel like I love having conversations with strangers. Maybe that's honestly why I love traveling too. I just love feeling like a human. And I know that might sound like silly to you, but actually analyze what I'm trying to say. Like, you know how sometimes people are so robotic, like, you know, you live your life, every day looks the same for a lot of people. So you just wake up, go to work, go to the gym, go home. Wake up, go to the gym, go to work, go home. You know, every single day. And there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. I'm saying more like in the sense where you start feeling like depressed being in that state. Because I know a lot of people start feeling like, what even is there to life? Like, I'm just waking up, living the same day every day. That's what I mean. What was I gonna say, bro? Oh my gosh, this is really bad. I hate how I like lose track of what I'm saying. I just start like rambling and going into different topics that I forget like the main thing I was gonna say. Hold up, give me 1 second. Yeah, I remembered. Damn, that's crazy. And that kind of makes me upset that I can't remember. Like, I'll be conversating with a friend, and it happens kind of often, or with a family member, and we get off topic. We just start, you know, just conversating, and then I'm like, what were we talking about? Like, what were we trying to get at with this? And then when they don't remember, it frustrates me because I'm like, fuck, like, I don't remember either. So now I'm just there sitting like, I want to remember what I was gonna say. And it bothers me, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know the conversation has to keep going, but I stay kind of stuck on, why can't I remember what I was saying? And I remember I had a friend that mentioned to me, that told me something that really helped me. I mean, not necessarily really helped me, but like it stayed on my mind. I haven't really applied it to actually help me, but I feel like I should. Obviously, if I remember it, it's something useful. But she said, Sorry, I looked at the camera like this because I feel like it was blinking. Anyways, she told me, we were conversating and then I forgot what I was saying, or I forgot what I was gonna say. So I was like, what was I gonna say? And I was like so stuck on it. And she was like, it's okay. She's like, just keep flowing with the conversation. Like, just keep going. Like, don't get so stuck on it. And I guess, it's a nice reminder to, if you struggle with that, just how I do, it's a good reminder to just, tell yourself, like, it's okay. Like, let the conversation flow. Kind of like, go with the flow of things. Like, don't get so stuck on it. I think it's because I'm also very controlling. I don't know, I said the word controlling. I'm very controlling, so I expect things to go a certain way, or I visualize already how something was gonna play out, and so when it doesn't play out that way, or it doesn't happen how I thought it was, it really bothers me, and it stays lingering in my mind, And I know you're probably like, what is this podcast, this episode even about? It's basically an introduction, so I'm just rambling to you guys, like if you're a friend, like if we're just having coffee, and I'm telling you basically who I am. I mean, maybe I don't even have to tell you guys because you guys can see it for yourself. Again, the way I'm expressing myself, and just, let me drink. But yeah, something that I wanted to mention is I'm going to be treating this podcast because I'm like, okay, what's going to be the theme of my podcast? What's going to be my focus? Who's going to be my target audience? First of all, there's no target audience. It's just whoever likes my material, whoever's entertained. But I want to treat this like a diary, kind of. I'm not going to, put my whole life out there, but I do want to be very transparent and, again, be myself and just vent to you guys and just say my thoughts out loud. Maybe since I live alone, like, I feel like I need to, like, say so many things, and instead of bottling them up or journaling, even though I feel like I've always wanted to journal, but it also ties into my impatience. I can't sit down and write. I get so impatient because I have so many thoughts, and then I can't write as fast as my thoughts are going, so it kind of frustrates me and I end up not journaling. But I think this is a great way for me to get my thoughts out. But yeah, to not make this too long, I don't even know how long I've been recording, but I had some topping points, so it was, an introduction. Actually, I'm not going to talk about this. Yeah, so you guys got a gist of basically who I am, how I am, just a little bit. And I guess I wanted to talk about becoming your best self and loving yourself. I'm nowhere near perfect. I'm nowhere near, well, I don't want to say nowhere near, but I'm not at the finish line of where I want to be and who I want to be. And I'm also not trying to rush that, because I know people are always trying to, like, be so quick with it, and, like, they want the house, they want the marriage, they want the kids, they want the finances, they want the perfect life already, they want the stability, And I 100% get that. Like, I think most people want those same things too. But, well, not everybody, right? Everybody's life visions and life goals looks differently. I personally don't know if I want the same things I thought I wanted. Like, when I was younger, I would always say I wanted 5 kids. That was my number. Like, I would always be like 5, 5, 5. I just always wanted a big family of my own because I come from a small family. We don't really have that much extended family. Like, I see my friendships and I'm like, oh, like, they have, like, I don't know, freaking 30 uncles and a bunch of cousins. And I'm like, I think that's nice, even though there's always going to be chaos and, like, people who don't really click. But at the same time, I think it's beautiful. Like, when it comes to family reunions, like, I don't know, I've always admired that. I think it's so nice to have a lot of loved ones and be surrounded by a lot of people. But I also came to the realization that it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So it's always just been my parents and my sister and I always wanted a bigger family. But now as I'm getting older, I think I just had a realization that, like, I don't really need many people. Don't get me wrong, I have cousins that I love and, other extended family, but at the end of the day, your primary family is, your family, like your siblings and your parents. Or it depends, right? Because everybody's family dynamic is different. Depends who you're closest to. What I'm getting at is that, well, I don't even know what I'm getting at. I'm just talking. But I don't need more than what I already have. And I have great, amazing friendships that I'm super grateful for. Like, I think sometimes in life, certain relationships, whether they're friendships or romantic relationships or even family members, like sometimes things change and you lose touch or you just go different ways, and it doesn't always have to be bad blood. There always doesn't have to be like some animosity. Like you could be on good terms, but just know that that relationship came to its course, and that was it. Like you just needed to be in that person's life for that amount of time, and either they helped you learn something or you helped them learn something, or or you guys equally taught each other lessons, whether they're good or bad, or in that moment maybe you guys really needed each other, and after that you just kind of are living different lives and just evolve in different ways. So I think it's also, what I'm doing is amazing to meet different people and come across people that can teach you new things, either about the person you were or the person you're trying to become. I love meeting people and having meaningful conversations that can later make me reflect, because I'm not that type of person that's just going to conversate with you and never think about you or that conversation again. Conversations stick with me. As small as it might seem to you, for me, I've always said small things really matter, and it's all about the small things. I love just talking to others and seeing how their brain works and seeing how they view life, and just being able to take from them. I think that's what makes a really wise person. Somebody who can be non-biased and sometimes put their perspective aside and learn from others. Either to educate yourself or to simply learn to accept different perspectives from others and be okay with accepting that difference. I think it's beautiful to be different, because imagine we were all the same. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be the same as somebody else. I just don't. There's people that maybe do, like they have an idol and they're like, I want to be exactly like them. I get it in the aspect where like somebody can really inspire you and motivate you and be like, oh, like goals, like I want to be like that. Like I get that. What I'm saying is more like you shouldn't want to wish to be somebody else. I think you should just embrace yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. You're you, and nobody else is like you. There's literally not another person like you. You might be very, very, very similar to another person, but you're unique, and you should embrace who you are and what you want out of life ultimately. Like, we all want different things, and I don't know. Yeah, okay. I think that's the end of that. But yeah, so going back to loving yourself, okay, that ties into that. So I know it's so easy to say love yourself because, people will go to the spa and be like, hashtag self-love. Like, yes, that's self-love, don't get me wrong. Or like, they'll go on a shopping spree and be like, oh, self-love. Like, yes, those things are part of self-love. I'm not dismissing that or saying that they're not, but self-love is so much deeper than the superficial stuff. At the end of the day, that is taking care of yourself, and it's really important, don't get me wrong, to take care of yourself and your skin and your hair and your health and going to the gym and your nutrition. But what's more important, in my opinion, is taking care of what's in here. Not pushing things to the side or not bottling up your feelings. Like, if you want to cry, cry. I'm a big crier. I've already accepted it. Sometimes I kind of do hold it back, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to cry in front of this person or like in this situation that we're in right now. But I cry out of happiness. I cry out of like when I have realizations and I'm like, oh damn, like look at where I was before and where I am now. Like, it doesn't always have to be a sad cry. It could be like, I'm just happy, I'm just grateful, I just want to release these feelings. And sometimes you cry and you don't even know why you're crying. Because that's happened to me. I cry and I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. But you do know. Like, really analyze the reason behind your emotions. I think that's self-love. I think allowing yourself to cry, to scream, to feel angry at people who hurt you, to cry about things that you still haven't healed from. And then on top of that, taking care of yourself and, doing things to properly evolve and just be the best version of yourself. So, yeah, I guess I guess those are all the topics that I wanted to mention. And just to end it off, I guess this journey that I'm on by even starting this podcast is a journey of growth. I want to push myself to be somebody, one, that I've never imagined, but at the same time that I've always imagined, if that even makes sense to you guys. Like, by saying I've never imagined, kind of like sometimes we doubt ourselves, right? So I think like, sometimes I doubt myself, so I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this and that. Like, I don't think I'll be a millionaire, or I don't think I'll be able to have a successful podcast, or I don't think I'll be able to be this or that, or whatever my goals are, right? I don't think I'll ever have a six-pack because I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of those bad eating habits, or I don't think I'm ever going to quit smoking because I just like smoking, like whatever it is to you, right? So that's one, but I also do visualize and have visualized the person I could be. Like, I literally daydream of the woman that I'm becoming, or the one that I want to become, because as of right now, in the present moment, I feel like I've already grown a lot the past 3 years, compared to the person that I used to be. And it's not all just physical, it's in here, how I think, how I perceive things, and just certain life experiences can shape your mindset to change, if that makes sense. Like, we're supposed to change, we're supposed to evolve. So, I was gonna say something else. I think that sometimes, as women, or not necessarily as women, just people in general, but I feel like women have more like of that, how do they call it? Like, your time is kind of like, what do you call it, like that? I forgot the name, or like, how do you say, like what the term that's used for women and like their life clock, no, it's not life clock. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. We have that clock ticking kind of, right? Because we want to get married and have kids, and we're already getting older, and then we don't look as beautiful, and we're aging, and we have this like societal pressure. I guess what I'm trying to say is, again, I know things are so easily said than done, but I think aging is beautiful, and I think it makes you into a wise person. The more experiences you've had, either both good and bad, they make you into the person you are. So you should never regret all the bad experiences you've been through, even if they were traumas. Maybe it sounds bad if I say that, because I know there's different types of traumas, right? So I'm not talking about everything, but it could be traumas, it could be just bad experiences, it could be grief, it could be a lot of things. It could, a lot of things that you've struggled with. Mental health, I think those things really build your character development, and they ultimately make you stronger, more resilient. Once you bounce back up on your feet, you can either help others by giving your experience, sharing your experience, or you can simply just grow as a person, but it's not always just about yourself, even though it's a beautiful thing to see your own growth, but it's about helping others. At least that's what I think, and that's how I feel. I think community is a very important thing that we should focus on as people. Again, with something as small conversation, with something as having a new friend group, like joining an activity. You guys should really get into like hobbies, and I think it's really fun to figure out what you like and who you are ultimately by expressing your creativity in whatever way that is. It's fun. I feel like it sounds so simple for me to say this and maybe corny, but like, life is so short. Like, do the things you want to do. And I know you might be like, okay, well, those things require money, but like, it could be something so simple, like learn how to roller skate. I bought some roller skates and I haven't used them. Well, anyways, that's not the point. Yeah, I don't know, get into cooking, start drawing, like whatever that is for you, But yeah, okay, let me actually end this, because I still was gonna end this like 20 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. I want to end it on that timeline topic. Like, don't feel so rushed to get to the end of your goal, because if you think about it, we hear it all the time that there's rich people or like celebrities that struggle with addictions, commit suicide, are struggling with mental health. What does that tell you guys? That money isn't everything. Because a lot of people would be like, okay, money isn't everything, but if I had money, I wouldn't be depressed. Like, I would be so happy and I would feel fulfilled. Like, money is not everything, because like, I feel like that's something that we're always striving for, right? Success, money, just financial security. So once you have it, it's like, okay, I want more, because that's how we are as humans, right? We always want more. Or if you don't want more, you're just kind of like, what more is there to life? Like, okay, I already got it all, so what do I do now? And then you splurge and you do everything that you want to do. You get all the materialistic things you wanted, and then what's next? I mean, yeah, you're living life, you're having a great time, but in my opinion, and I'm not just saying this to say, like, I genuinely think love is more important than money. They're both important, right? Money's important. We live in a world where we need money to function as a society and to be able to provide for ourselves and our families. But if you have money and you don't have love, imagine what type of life that would be. Now, if you don't have as much money but you live comfortably and you have people that love you and you love them, I think that's a more richer life, my opinion. At least the type of life I want to live. So don't rush to the finish line, because remember, the turtle won the race. That's a very good thing to keep in mind. And also, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Because once you reach that goal that you have for yourself, it's basically like, okay, I'm already here, what's next? But once you get there and you took years to get there, you're gonna look back and be like, wow, like it was literally all about the journey. Like, it was about the struggle, it was about learning, it was about networking, it was about experiencing different things to actually get to where I'm at right now. Because if it wasn't for those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am. People want to be somewhere overnight. You know, and that comes to anything. It could be whether it's your career choice, to your fitness journey, finding the love of your life and having the family you want. Like, chill out, just chill out. I promise you it's gonna come to you. Like, sometimes we get so impatient that we want it now. Like, maybe it'll come to you in 5-10 years. Maybe not, maybe literally in a week, maybe in a month, maybe tomorrow. Maybe not tomorrow, but you know what I mean? Like, it could happen whenever. Like, we need to stop rushing life. We just need to start being more in the present moment and just going with the flow. And of course, making goals for yourself, but at the same time, learning to just accept things for what they are right now, because there's nothing you can do to change it. And life will start giving you everything that you deserve and everything that you've been working for. You just have to trust the process. And that's exactly how I'm going to end this video. Trust the process and put in the work. And you guys got this, you know? We all got this. I hope you guys liked this video. I want to end my videos with a quote. So every time that I either record by myself or I have a guest, I'm gonna ask them to say something that they wanna end the video with, right? So my quote of the day is gonna be, which is something so cliche, everybody always says it, but this is something that I've always said growing up. Like, I would say it for everything. I would even say it for like the tragedies that would happen in the family. And that is, everything happens for a reason. Everything. Everything. I've always believed that. I strongly believe that. And some people might contradict me and be like, then why? I don't think that plays into, like, you know, family death and like tragedies and horrible stuff. I 100% see where you're coming from. And that's true. I guess it's just my optimistic side. I'm always trying to be an optimist and try to look at the good in things. And I'm always like, well, out of tragedies, sometimes beautiful things blossom, you know? Or if something beautiful didn't blossom, either you really learned something that you can take with you for the rest of your life. So, you know, after a rain, there's always going to be a rainbow, right? That was cheesy, but it's true. Alright guys, well thank you for watching me, and yeah, this is the end of episode 1. I don't know how to end this. I should make like a little ending thing, huh? I don't know. Okay, well thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye. No, that was stupid. I don't want to do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, alright. Well, I'm just gonna be my quirky, weird self. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Now we will see. Alright, whatever. You know? I'm actually really happy with this, how this video came out. I mean, I haven't even seen it, but I'm happy with how I was expressing myself, and yeah, so okay. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. See you guys next time. No. Alright. Oh, I know how I can end it. I can be like, and always remember to be you. No? I don't know. Well, because, you know, sé tú means be you. So, alright, whatever. Let's redo it. Let's see how you guys like it, and you guys can tell me if it's cheesy or not. Give me ideas. Alright guys, well, this is the end of this video, so always remember to be you. Alright, bye.